Hey, love, and welcome to the Luv MEESH Podcast. It's a billion podcasts to listen to, and the universe guided you right here to this one. It's 8 billion people in the world, yet you met me, and that is not by happen chance. This is a divine meeting, and may we guide each other well. I am in this world, but I'm not of it. On this podcast, you'll hear topics about both worlds, spiritual and earthly. My goal is to keep learning, evolving, and spreading love. Hey, loves. Welcome to another episode of the Luv MEESH Podcast. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. So as you can see, this is part 2 of Reparations. I had to bring it back. So if you have not stumbled across Cut on YouTube, please check them out. I love Cut because they will ask 100 different people random questions, from sex to relationships to marriage to love to having kids. And it's just so interesting to hear the thought process or the different answers from different people, different cultures, different religions, different backgrounds. Same question, just a variety of answers. And instead of you hearing every single person's interview from beginning to end, they'll chop it up. So you'll hear one person start to answer the question, and then it flips to the next person and the next person and the next person. And I just love them for that. So I honed in on the being Black in America because they did ask them, like, what is your idea of reparations, or what do you feel reparations should be? And so you guys already heard my take on it, right? I'm all for houses, I'm all for land, I'm all for education. But I wanted you guys to hear different people's point of view as well, because maybe you don't agree with me with land, houses, and education. Maybe you have a different point of view of what we should receive. So I wanted to invite those 100 people, add that clip to the show just so that you can hear other people's point of view. And I also found a post on Instagram where they were talking about it again. Like, I cannot get away from this topic. It's following me, you guys, but I'm going to bring it to you. And conversation is great. Conversation opens up that door for tough topics, and it also invites change. So if you can plant a seed in the right ear, change is born, right? Words are very powerful. They are alive. They are living entities. They are living beings. And you just have to put them in the right ground, in the right soil, in the right environment to grow into fruition, into our 3D reality. So, yeah, I already know I'm spiritual here. If you are new, I'm all things esoteric. So nothing is what it appears. Human beings are so egotistical. We think we know everything, but shit, we know nothing. God is like, sit down. You just got here. You have so much more to learn, right? I feel like this is school. We are training to be gods. And if we can't even make it past this level, like, there's no way we can handle, governing a whole planet and whatever else the universe has in store. So you guys are in school. We're in God's school. And, this is like the toughest lesson. I feel like this is the university of life. And if you don't graduate here, you do not get to go anywhere else. That's why we're trapped, right? So I'm going to pause for a moment. I'm going to let you hear those 100 people's point of view on what reparations should be. And then I'm going to come back.
What does reparations look like to you?
Something that we ain't never gonna get. We ain't never gonna get it.
What could reparations look like today?
Whew. That's a tough one.
What could reparations look like today?
You mean like at all? We don't have any reparations.
Reparations are going to be an ongoing generational process.
I have a hard time even grasping the notion that that would happen in my lifetime.
What could reparations look like today?
We deserve reparations. I just don't have any idea what form they should take.
I feel like people's needs are going to be different.
Should be multiple choice.
Mine is free Chick-fil-A, Popeyes, and Taco Bell for the rest of my life.
Okay. They should let Black people get Jordans for free.
Chicken. Buckets of fried chicken. Stock and just Tyson's. Like, no, we own Tyson's now.
Reparations could be really creative.
I have a lot of friends around the world, but I've never been out of the United States.
America is so ghetto, the only thing I want to do is leave.
Can I have unlimited flights?
A trip to Senegal.
First class.
A house in Miami, a vacation home in New York. I want to buy me an island, have a plane to fly to the island.
And what would you be wearing?
Probably a bikini.
There can be no conversation about peace, love, unity without reparation.
Secular humanism is a good model. Just
equity, fairness.
This equality thing that they're pushing just ain't enough.
I'm trying to move away from equality, I guess, as a concept, because equality still brings about unequitable outcomes for Black people specifically.
In the race, some people, they're way far ahead.
We don't have inherited wealth.
It is absolutely possible to do reparations currently for things that were promised 150 years ago.
Slave owners received it.
They got $300 per slave. If we were to go look at the great-great-great-great-grandson of the person that owned the diamond plantation, how much money does that kid have?
The 40 acres and a mule type thing, I did read an article, and today that would look like roughly $40,000 to $60,000 per person.
I want 40 acres and a mule, and I mean that. The mule can be cash, but I truly want the land.
I want land. Give me land. How many acres we talking?
How many acres you want?
I want 100, bare minimum.
I would say something where I can give back to my kids.
My entire family lived in the projects. I knew nothing about home ownership. Your circumstances are not going to be your future or your forever.
What could reparations look like today?
Money.
Some cold hard cash. If you're any type of Black, you should get paid.
The way that Native Americans get checks from the government, I feel like Black people should too.
Put $300K in my account.
Somewhere around $2 million per Black person.
Maybe you give every Black person $1 million. That's still not going to do anything for the systemic oppression that happens educationally, in the job force, etc., etc.
What could reparations look like today?
Listening when someone says, my life is being threatened.
Knowing that I can call the police and actually get help and not fear dying.
What are all the things that I just don't have access to? Like walking down the street without being perceived as dangerous.
If I'm able to do that without the stigma or the profiling, I'm good.
I feel like we should just be given space.
I don't know that anybody has to give me a dime. Just mind your business.
What could reparations look like today?
We had some deep-seated issues.
Because there's so much layers to our struggle.
Reparations has to go to a soul level and be spiritual and be more mental.
I feel like reparations is more like self-empowerment.
Freedom.
Respect.
To just be treated like I am meant to be somebody, like I am somebody.
Reparations look like fucking acknowledging the shit that happened.
I just need you to acknowledge that this has happened.
The oppressors admitting that they oppressed.
What do your reparations look like?
I think any reparations that we receive, we have to make for ourselves. Those are how you get your reparations. You earn your reparations, you take them back.
Taking shares from companies and corporations that have profited from the labor of slaves.
In addition to the labor stolen, there was a lot of psychological trauma.
Mental health counseling.
Education.
Education access.
Growing up, when my dad would get frustrated, he would say, Black children shouldn't have to pay for books, not for school, not for college, not for anything.
Actually investing in public schools. Not being okay with anyone ever being homeless. Those are reparations to me because those actually make a equitable society.
Black people should be tax exempt.
Don't have to pay property taxes. That'd be great.
Reverse gentrification if possible.
Free housing. What does reparations look like to you?
Good community-based involvement.
Investing in the Black community.
More local controlled banks.
You have different programs to help encourage small businesses.
More mentorship. I call it almost collaborative economics. Maybe you're trading services and maybe you're providing your time and like how you show up.
I really would like to get into the oil business.
Let's give every Black woman a doula and a lactation consultant.
Supporting folks that are currently in the justice system.
Got to dismantle the prison industrial complex. That in and of itself will upend capitalism the way that we know it.
What could reparations look like today?
Literally looks like redistribution of all of the excess that white people have.
White people need to shift.
It's removing old white people of power and putting back folks
that look like us, that legislate,
integrate,
redesign,
redistribute,
communicate.
I mean, we're talking about structural damage that has happened inside of communities.
The total disruption of everything.
A new nation. Dismantling this entire system.
And starting from scratch.
Quite literally, people giving up their homes, their assets, all of their resources to people who are the most disenfranchised.
It's got to be something that honestly is uncomfortable because getting here wasn't comfortable.
Okay, so how did you feel about that? 100 different people, 100 different backgrounds, religions, everything else. Amazing points were raised. Which ones did you agree with? Which ones did you not agree with? Didn't you just love that? Like, go check them out. They have so many more topics that you can tap into. I love Cut on YouTube. You can even check out the card games they have and their actual website. So next, I mentioned that there was a post on Instagram about reparations as well. So this is what the post states. Reparations for slavery. Robert L. Johnson's plan. $350,767 should be issued as a one-time cash payment. There's over 42 million African Americans that are eligible descendants. The calculation is based on income, education, savings, and home ownership. It will total $14.7 trillion as a price tag. Stain of slavery. BET founder unveils $14.7 trillion reparations plan. All right, so these are the comments. Someone said, I want yearly royalty like the other people get and land to start a business. Someone else said, what does your income, savings, or anything that you currently own have to do with anything because your family profited so much from slavery that 50 generations of your family have already benefited from it? What the fuck? Someone else said, it's missing a shitload of things. One is land and the other is the anti-hate bill. Someone else said, stop voting for those people that's keeping you from building generational wealth. Someone else said, cut the damn check. We're tired of fake news. Another one says, believe it when you give us the land and the money. Someone else said, what about the land they stole from us and now making us pay for it? Can we include that as well? The fuck? I agree. But the Bible do say, give Caesar what's his. So instead of stealing land, if they're going to sell it, I'm going to open up the door so that we will be able to purchase it. Because that's another red line. That's another block too. But my grandmother is 77 years old. We are Cherokee. This is our land. So that is going to stick with me until the day I die. And I have upgraded my Social Security to show Native American. Like, I'm not playing. And once I learn about these trusts, it's going to be game over. Okay, someone else says, the fact that we're still asking for reparations is crazy as fuck. They are so right. Now that was so right. Let me see what else we have. This is not a win, y'all. They could never put a price on what they did and are still doing. They're going to take their time and make up every excuse not to pay. It's not enough. They need to triple that and be sure to include late fees and interest. Oh, yes, baby. Let me heart that. Let me heart that right there. Because that's just what IRS do. Nah, just make sure we never have to pay taxes again. No taxes out of wages, sales tax, and free college and tuition. I like that. Here's another one. We want our land back. That little bit of money ain't going to change nothing. Everyone think that getting this or that they have no right to tell you that we qualify. Let me put this together. Everyone think they getting this and they're not. They have no right to tell you or us that you qualify if the education, how much money you have in your savings, etc. Ridiculous. I'm not sure what she meant by that. Someone else said, I'm 2% Liberian. Am I still able to apply? Another person said, that's still not enough. Are you sure they didn't mistake Ukrainians with African Americans? Yes. This was 1 week ago. Yes. So you see, the moment we say reparations, let's calculate it, yada, 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 it's turned down. It's sitting on somebody's desk for years. But Ukraine is in war. Mind you, when we left planes, machinery, guns, and all of that. So did we not fund the war? Made it seem like we had to make a quick evacuation and not take your equipment. I call BS on that. We sneakily gave them equipment they needed for this war. So we're probably funding both sides. Y'all, if you read the book, The Art of War, both parties are dirty. I mean, when you introduce war, there's no winning. You made the dirtiest person win. That's war. And that's why I just stay out of it. The next person said, I'm going to just need y'all not to act like y'all did with that pandemic money buying Gucci belts and BBLs. Someone else said, and it better not be taxed. Someone else said, why is that cheaper than what we spent in the war? Again, yes. They don't want to give us reparations because it will improve our lives, and they don't want that. Someone else said, I'll believe him when the check clears. All I want is land. Life split, it'll never happen. They'll make sure to charge us 40% again just to qualify for the home loan, especially in Cali. That's what I'm fighting, y'all. That's my fight. I really don't believe that they're going to give people $350,747 each. Okay, on 20 acres of land, someone else said 20 acres of land, 3-bedroom house, a pool plus no taxes, 50 years, clear up all debts, a 750 credit score, and brand new car, then it'll be a deal. Someone else said that criteria is getting ridiculous. Someone else said you too light. Oh, man. Not going to happen. Is it going to be taxed? Run me mine. Yes, I need a new car. Not paying taxes is really the key to ending everything our corrupt government is based on. This is my favorite one. The bill was first introduced in 1989. It has been sponsored numerous of times. Don't hold your breath. That is so sad to me. So when people want to say vote and this, that, the other, the history that I'm learning, I just want no parts of it. I really don't. You gave people licenses to catch Africans and hang them. I heard of barbecues, feeding babies to alligators and crocodiles. Like, the more I learn, I'm just disgusted. And even though they're willing to do these reparations, it still will not, the atrocities that were done. Oh my God. And you know what the saddest part to me is? Even if they do give reparations, you still got to talk to God. And God said, vengeance is mine. And I know they want to say, oh, Jesus died on the cross for our sins. I'm feeling a little iffy about that, because my yad said, baby, that heart will be weighed. And if it's not as light as a feather, you can hang it up. So I think they kind of mix the Bible up just to make themselves feel better. Because when you feel guilty knowing that everything that you've done, you mean to tell me for eternity, you're damned, you're to hell, you're whatever you want to call it. So yeah, let me throw that in there so my people will feel better. Because we done fucked up. Like, nah. That heart is going to be weighed. So if you have the means, whatever you can, baby, try to do good. Me and my best friend and her little sister was talking about it. And she was like, oh, no. I was talking to somebody that works with HUD. And she was saying, if you do get money like that, you see a lot of them try to do good. And that's why they try to even the scales. And a lot of celebrities do that too, talking about nonprofits. You don't care about no damn nonprofits. You need some tax write-offs, and you want your conscience to be clear. It's blood money. It's blood money. Let's just call a spade a spade. When people do drugs too, like, yeah, you getting quick money, but it's drug money. You know what I mean? That has karma, that has sin on it. Okay, let me keep going. This is why they should mention money. Oh, no, I'm not going to read that. Somebody said, is this real? Somebody said slavery. I don't know why they want to pretend like slavery isn't real. It happened to an extent. Even the white people were servants. They didn't say slaves on their behalf. They were servants to the they were low class. They either stayed in the king, queen chambers and served them their whole life. They couldn't even get married and have their own families. Like, that was their role. That was their duty. They felt like that was their honor. Now, baby, you was a slave. Because you couldn't leave and do what you wanted to do. That's another form of slavery, if you ask me. So I think it existed for all time. Even in the Bible, when Moses said, let my people go, they bonded themselves. So it was a famine. So the people was hungry. They sold their cattle. They sold their land. And then they said, I'll sell myself. I'll work for you. That's how they became slaves. Nobody came to their village with guns or rolled up on their land with boats and syphilis blankets. You know what I mean? And guns that they've never seen before. And my dad just told me the other day, they killed all the buffalo and the bison. That's how we would eat and clothe ourselves. They literally shot them and let them rot, and that was our food source. Now, let me ask you a question. Have you seen a buffalo or a bison? Because they were native to this land. And I'm like, what? But I have a whole bunch of Indian books in my trunk. I have a whole bunch of African books in my trunk. And I'm about to start digging into them. Because stuff just comes to me. Spirit be like, get those Indian books, get them African books. And I'm like, okay. And then it started to come together like later. So now I see like God's spirit want me to like build up my history. And I'm so proud of that. Like, yes, ancestors, I hear you. And I will never forget, Sharita told me that I was chosen. My spiritual advisor, look her up, Ratchet Oracle 22. She told me that I was chosen in my bloodline. They've been waiting 200 years for me to get here. And I remember when I took my mushroom trip, I was crying. I'm empathic. So I feel better than I talk, better than anything else. It's my feels. It's a whole language, y'all. I can't even explain it, but I'm going to keep researching it until I'm able to explain it to y'all. But I was telling my sister, like me and my older sister, my little sister, we came here. It was something we were supposed to do, something so big. And I was just crying because everything is trying to like tear us apart, rip us apart, get us off plan. Like everything, like this whole earth existence, we're not even supposed to be focused on this. It's a mission. And I was just crying. Like I just held her hand and I was crying. I felt like I was sending her messages or energy through my hand. I don't know if she picked it up, but it was all there. So I know I'm not supposed to be doing this alone. It's us. We're supposed to be doing something very impactful, like before we leave here. And I know it has to do with love. I know it has to do with the power of love. And I'm just going to keep, Lord, keep ordering my steps until I do it. And I remember coming here, y'all. It's so crazy. I don't know if I was on a spaceship or what, but it was like a whirlpool. I could look down and see a portal, Earth. And I was like, God, it's so dumb. It's so fucking easy. Just do it. And I'm like, I'm going to go do it. This is so dumb. I can do it. And this shit is hard as fuck. Like, I'm here. I had to start out as a baby. Relearn what they tried to bury. And this shit is hard. So on the outside looking in, I'm like, just send me. I got it. It's so fucking easy to do. And now that I'm here, like, no. You could be walking in light and love. And then something would just whoosh. And you got a choice. I'm going to keep walking in light and love. Or, bitch, you want to go there? We can fucking go there. And it's just like that. Oh, my God. So, yeah. Let me get back to it. Let's see. It shouldn't have to do anything with what we have or make. We should inquire it in spite of what was done to our ancestors. Yes, honeybee, I agree. Let's see. Lord bless us and keep the devil away. Let's have it. Your ancestors paved the way and you deserve every dime. Agreed. It's crazy how they went to erase the free labor we did and not how rich they got. Yes. Inflation's going to eat that up. We want restitution, not reparations. Ooh. Somebody said you'll never see it. So they're going to decide how much you get by your employment, education, savings, and home ownership. This is how they decide settlements when you get in that car accident. Oh, I didn't know that. Remove the bullshit and base it on income and home ownership crap. Slavery was never based on that, so stop looking to lower the payment because of it. Ooh, like that. Don't hold your breath. Another person said that. Somebody said I'm going through racism where I'm at now. I hope I can get double. So as a realtor, there's a company called JWB, allegedly, but it is in the news. We're denying applications of African Americans, and I have predominantly African American clients, and I do everything, whatever you want, whatever keys you need. But a lot of people are renting until they can get things together to buy. So most of my clients are people that are leasing, renting, they're looking for rentals. And every single one of them that has applied for JWB has been denied. I am living proof. I can stand on the stand. I could be a witness. When the case starts, I can definitely be a witness. And so I'm dealing with a client right now. She wouldn't even give me the code to see it because she said the client was denied. Now, the client said, you pulled somebody else's information off of my number. This is a new number for me. So how are they even doing their background screening? So I'm going to go up there today and talk to them about it because y'all need to give her a fair chance. She's either in or out. And quiet as it's kept, I heard their maintenance is horrid. They make you sign 2 to 3 year leases and people aren't happy. People are coming to me looking for other places, leaving them. Quiet as it's kept. So, baby, I know racism is definitely in the realty industry and the mortgage industry, and I hope to make a change. Someone said they gave out over $13 billion for someone else's genocide or war. That is so true. So you have Native people here saying, please give us reparations for what your ancestors did to my ancestors, and let's call a spade a spade. And they're like, oh no, push it under the rug. Let's think about it. Put it on the table, whatever. Let's recalibrate. And someone else from a whole other country is asking for help. And we send them $13 billion. So you can't tell us you don't have the money, because you clearly have shown us you do have the money and you sent it. Mind you, good people, ladies and gentlemen, that's grant money. They don't have to turn around and pay that back. But over here, we're asking for land, houses, student loans. You probably would tax it and everything else. So you just don't want to give it, is what I'm seeing. And so God, not even have mercy. Like, God is definitely going to deal with you. And I think that's why they're moving to transhuman and wanting to get into robots and live forever, because you don't want to meet the creator. That's demonic, y'all. Let's look into it. If you know that when you die, you meet your creator, you go back to source, and you don't want to do that, your hands are bloody red. Like, why are you know what I mean? You shouldn't be ashamed to go home. I'd be like, Lord, look what I did with the life you gave me. Tried to get my people some land, some homes, some everything. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to be proud. I have nothing to be ashamed of. Everything that I've done, this is me, Lord. But to want to turn into a robot, to get a robot body, to put your soul, and they have mastered it, y'all. Put your soul in objects. It's because just think about it. Even the movie Chucky showed us, they put souls in a doll. I follow this group. I'm going to have to do a podcast on them. Mind Unveiled. And they have been talking about Cabbage Patch for a while. And I am consumed with these videos, y'all. So somehow they were selling. Y'all remember the Cabbage Patch growing up? I had a Cabbage Patch doll. It had little tiny 2 strands of hair with a big old lemon head. And it had a soft body. Hard plastic head, soft body. 2 legs, 2 arms. But they were selling babies at one point. So, like, did they end the world and repopulate it and we're selling babies? It's something weird coming on. It's something weird about that. Like, is there a species here that can't reproduce? And so to make it seem normal, you have to give it kids? I don't know. I'm going to get to the bottom of it. And that's going to be a whole other podcast episode. But, yeah. But that's that. Let me do a few more because I'm going to get started with my day. They should totally give it out, but most people just going to give it right back. Take about a week and a half and then be back broke. It should be tax exempt. That's not enough. It won't happen. They already sent it to Ukraine and wherever else. Wishful thinking. One-time payment is not enough. They need to stop all the taxes. I don't want my money because I'm not going to take care of it. Oh, that was so sad. Let me reply. You can hire someone. That was really sad. Pay me my weight in gold. Come on, right now we need it. A couple of million in free education at these colleges. No, that's nowhere near enough. Shaking my motherfucking head. This is just why we lose. They throw a little something your way and you're happy. I need at least $5 million. Pay me for my ancestors. They suffered behind the hate and genocide of the United States Corporation. It's been a couple of those. They've changed the flags, y'all. It looks the same. You see the stars. You see the red stripes. You see the white stripes. You see the blue. But there are different dimensions and stuff. Like, America has been bought so many times. That's a whole nother rabbit hole. Like, it's the United States of America, the U.S. Corp, USA. Like, it's trickery. We don't even be realizing that. And I think China is up next, y'all. The kids is telling us they teaching them Chinese history. Why? Why are we learning that? Why? And as a realtor, they're telling us certain nations can't buy properties within so many feet of airports. Why? What's going on, y'all? So, yeah. I just thought that was interesting. I would love to hear your take on it. Spotify allows you to answer questions like, how did you like this podcast? I even put a question in there. Do you think we should get reparations? Yes, no, or maybe? I would love to know your answers if you could answer on those little polls. And I'll be back with more podcast episodes. This one wasn't as long just because I have to start by day. And it's kind of like a part 2. So the first one was already long. But yeah, I am 36 now. So maybe within my 100 years, be the Lord's will, I'll be able to see some type of reparations. But we'll see. I just cannot. It's like a slap in the face. 50 billion has been given to fund not one, but 2 wars. But the moment we bring up reparations, we get everything but a yeah. Everything but a yeah. It's insanity. It's insanity. And I am in real estate, and every training that I have on ethics, it'll give a case where white people are discriminating against black people. Not Asian, not Hispanic, not any other culture. It's specifically white and black. I'm taking my mortgage loan origination class. I passed the class. Now I just got to stay and take state. Same thing. Redlining. Gentrification. And it's white and black. No other race. Not Spanish. Not Chinese. It's like if you have to put this in the training material, then there's people in positions right now that you're trying to re-educate. Because you don't have to teach me that. You don't have to teach me not to discriminate on somebody trying to get property. Come on. So anyways, let me end right there. I hope you guys have an amazing day. I hope you learned something new. If you're not having an amazing day, that's okay. The day is still going. Give it a chance. And I will catch you guys on the next episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have always tuned in, I really appreciate every play, every like, every comment. I'm so happy. If it's your first time joining me, my name is Luv MEESH. This is the Luv MEESH Podcast. I talk about everything under the sun that's going on in my little universe, in my world, which happens to be everything esoteric, relationships, dating. Now I'm in real estate, so you're going to be starting to hear about real estate. I'm in school for leadership, so you're going to be hearing about that. So everything that has to do with my little world, I'm going to share it. I do believe sharing is caring. I am a first-time author, you guys. So I have a book called Positive. You can find it on Amazon. Just type in Jamisha Jackson. That is my name, and it will come up. And it's called Positive Fertility Journal. That's my first baby book. More to come. So you can call me author now, and I will catch you guys on the next episode. Talk to you later. Bye. Namaste, Lovaste, and always vibe high, babe. Thanks a million for listening. I hope you have a better than great day. I love you. Talk to you later.